What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode number 152 of Park to Prem here with Town Lord Town. If you're sat thinking, Jack, you sound sick, I'm not sick, it's just really early on in the morning on Sunday morning. Need to get this video out for you guys, and well, today, it's a live com double header. We have Liverpool, and then we have Bayern Munich in the first leg of the first knockout round of the Champions League. So yes, since you were last here, we have played, I believe, 5 league games going off memory. Yes, 5. And as you can see here, 2 clean sheets, which isn't quite as many as I would like, but on the whole, 5 wins. I can hardly really complain. And, well, there's one of these which is a little more significant than perhaps the others. So let's run through these, shall we? The first game was against Brentford, a 5-0 win here. Volta with 2, Cancina with 2. Cancina really finding some form as of late. Volta, he's still that squad player, he's still that rotation player, but we can definitely rely on him to, bring goals and perform. I mean, when you look at his average ratings here, there's a sea of green, so clearly when we have given him opportunities, he has taken them, and this Brentford game was no exception. In this run of games, there's been quite a lot of fixture congestion, rotation's been necessary, and obviously the fact we were able to rotate against Brentford and against Derby bodes very well for the future. And while the next game was that game against Derby, away from home at Pride Park, having struggled a little bit for goals in the league, that 5-0 against Brentford really set us up to score a few more. And well, in this game, it didn't start out particularly well, as you've already seen. Mikhail, our former man, getting a goal for them, a glancing header across goal. Shvetsov was able to reply just 4 minutes later. However, it didn't take until the second half for us to really get going and make this game feel way more comfortable than perhaps it might appear when you just look at the scoreline. It was 1-1 all the way till the 69th minute. Cancina scored there. Then Roger Makasi, the South African, with a thunderous long-range effort, just hit it so hard. The ball kept its momentum, kept going, smashed into the back of the net. And, well, right at the end, Cancina added his second of the game, so 2 braces in 2 games for him. And, yeah, he and Shvetsov have pretty much locked down, I feel like, the 2 starting striker positions at this point. Anyway, following on from that, another tricky game, Norwich City. We drew against them 2-2 at home. This time, we beat them kind of a bit more comfortably away from home. Shvetsov from the penalty spot, and then a tidy finish not long after that. 2 goals in very quick succession. The second goal, just a really tidy finish. A great run, getting in behind. And, yeah, the cherry on top was Shvetsov's cool, calm and collected composure, I suppose, in front of goal. Anyway, 2 more games to talk through. The first of these, the biggest of the bunch. Manchester City, our big rivals, a team who have been a thorn in our side for so long. Their media prediction is second. They are currently in 5th. They have struggled this season, and I do wonder if Zidane will still be in charge if they were to completely miss out on Champions League football. And, well, in this game here, we did very well indeed. Maticevic got us off to the ideal start. 2 goals in the last 2 games for him, actually, but his first here in the 4th minute. Malkowski then at the near post from a corner, a glancing header across goal. Shvetsov added a goal on the hour mark, and at 3-0 up, you thought, well, let's just keep a clean sheet now. But of course, in typical Man City fashion, Mike Frost wasn't going to let me have a clean sheet. We gave him 1 half chance, 1 half opportunity, and of course he took it in the 91st minute. Nevertheless, a 3-1 win, what was needed, just what the doctor ordered. And while following on from that, we took on Coventry City, our former affiliates, a team struggling right down at the bottom of the table. You can see in this game, Maticevic scoring again, and Steve Norman getting a goal, which is obviously fantastic to see. A player who has had his issues with injuries in recent months. He's, playing first-team football again, and he is finding the back of the net. So in terms of the league table and how things look, we are currently 3 points ahead of Chelsea. Today, to kick things off, we are taking on Liverpool, who are down in 4th. As you can see here, they are above Man City with a game in hand. Man City now 13 points behind us. I don't want to say that we can kind of forget about them, but as I look in my rearview mirror, they are slowly fading away into the distance. I feel like they are not the team to worry about right now. Chelsea, on the other hand, they've got a game in hand. If they were to win it by 2 or more goals, I believe they would go ahead of us on goal difference. Of course, they are not playing, I think, until tomorrow. Yeah, they play Derby County tomorrow. So a chance for us to pull 6 points clear and really lay down the gauntlet, force them into trying to chase us. You can see, just looking at the player stats here, Shvetsov with 13 goals is the second highest behind Mike Frost and Troy Parrott in the Premier League. Leskinen this year has just made a habit of picking up bookings. And Morrigan, 15 clean sheets for the year. There was a point where he was leading this quite comfortably. He has lost a little bit of ground in the clean sheet race. Hopefully he is going to be able to sort that out in the closing stages of the season. It's perhaps worth noting that after today's game against Liverpool, the league games really do ease up. We've got Derby County to play, they are bottom. Brighton in 14th. Tottenham, perhaps the most difficult of our remaining games to play. And following on from that, we've got Southampton in 17th, West Brom, Newcastle, Wolves, Watford, Bournemouth, and then you can see Everton at the end of the year. Realistically, of these teams, Everton and Tottenham are the only teams that should be giving us trouble. So we've navigated for a really tough run of games. We've played Man City twice in quick succession. We've played, obviously, Manchester United, Arsenal, Chelsea in the last month. It's been tricky. However, this game here is perhaps the game that if we win, I would look at everything and kind of, judge that this is our title to lose now, even if, Chelsea do have those 2 games in hand and are only 6 points behind us. Anyway, in terms of team situation and performance, Kaiser unfortunately is injured, a player who has been playing more and more in the first team. He has improved a lot this year. He's always been knocking on the door of the first team, but with Leskingham picking up so many bookings, there has been perhaps a reliance on him. Unfortunately, he is out for the next 2 to 4 weeks. So with that in mind, he's not going to be available for this game here against Liverpool or the game against Bayern Munich, which is a little bit unfortunate because the Bayern Munich game coming only 4 days after this first match does mean that, rotation may well be necessary. Now, I did rotate our team for the most recent game against Coventry, which we won, which was great. So with that all in mind, you can see a load of players with 99% condition. So, it could be worse. It could be worse on the squad rotation front, I suppose. Volta is also out, which is a bit of a shame. But besides those few little injuries, and Dylan Turnbull coming back from an injury, we're in a pretty good spot, all in all. In terms of the team selection for today's game against Liverpool, it's just the strongest 11 that we have. The only one player that I have been weighing up swapping out is Nico. And the reason I've been weighing it up is because he wants to leave, because I won't give him a new contract. He's on £90,000 a week, which isn't an insignificant sum. I appreciate that since he's joined, a lot of players have come on and been given newer, larger contracts. However, he wants £200,000 a week, and he's not a £200,000 a week player. Debatably, Matheus Aurelio isn't a £200,000 a week player after the season he's had, but Nico certainly is not. So that's something to perhaps keep an eye on. He's got 3 years left on his current contract. The left-back position is perhaps the weakest spot in the team if you were going to look at it, alongside the centre-mid position. With that in mind, maybe we do look to get a replacement, although last time I checked, back when we signed him a couple of years ago now, there wasn't really that alternative option, that plan B. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have signed him at the time. But anyway, besides that, we are at full strength. Kansina and Shvetsov up front, 16 goals for each of them this year. The goals really have been spread across a few players, which is quite nice. A little bit less pressure, I suppose, on the team. You can see Turnbull's got 11 goals by comparison. In terms of assists, you can see Kaiser, 9 assists to his name. Unfortunately, of course, not available. Nico's got 8 assists. Collier Kansina, 6. Andre, 6. When you actually look at it, there's not that many players with a huge number of assists. It's not like we have a singular playmaker we rely on. We are, just as a team, quite creative. And we don't, play through one player. It's not like we funnel everything through our deep line playmaker or our advanced playmaker. They are very much just about, linking up the play, I suppose, as we transition. But anyway, tricky game here to start things off against Liverpool. Absolutely no denying that. They are in 4th for a reason. This is a game that I desperately want to win. We have not had the best history against Liverpool. Of course, we lost to them in an EFL Cup final once upon a time. They got us relegated from the Premier League the very same season. But I do feel like we're now in a position where we can go toe-to-toe with them. And well, Matheus Aurelio, I've called him out for a poor season. He's just been fouled. That is going to be a penalty. We've been pretty poor from penalties so far this year. So let's hope that Shvetsov can score this one, shall we? Can he secure his 14th league goal of the season? He steps up, he hits it. I knew. Keeper holds on to it. Crazy save by the keeper, to be fair. Oh, that's annoying. You wonder if we'll get a better opportunity than that, a penalty, in a game where we have started the better of the two teams. Let's see how we bounce back from that, or rather, perhaps how Liverpool will take this second chance they've been given. As Bandowski hits it, oh my word, did Morgan save that onto the woodwork? I think we might get a goal line replay here. Was it over the line? The net rippled, but the ball did not cross it. It was hacked away by, I think, Markovsky off the line. And, we live to fight another day. Oh, I can't believe that penalty miss. We've had some pretty terrible luck. Oh, it's been... Why is terrible and terrific so similar, but horrible and horrific are like the same. Does that make sense? Is that in the box? I think that's outside the box, ref. Is he going to give a VAR penalty? We've got another... Right, please, Shvetsov. Our Shvetsov, who art in heaven, please score this pen. I need this goal. Thank you. He's hit it the same direction, same power. This time the keeper doesn't commit quite as much. 17 for the season. I want to tell you, I never doubted him. But that would be a lie. Lovely finish, though. The prayer wasn't particularly good. I don't think it helped him. But a lovely goal there. Makes it 1-0, and that is the least that we deserve. Whilst we've not dominated possession, you can see we've limited Liverpool to just one shot in the entirety of this first half. And that is good enough for me. Of course, in an ideal world, we score a few early goals here and I'm able to take out some of our key players and rest them a little just ahead of the Bayern Munich game. If you were wondering, by the way, I didn't make any last-minute huge signing in January. I did weigh it up. I even asked the board for more money and they gave me another £2 million on the transfer budget. However, no, I didn't spend it. Shvetsov chance. Oh, my word. Keeper head clears off the line. That was not convincing goalkeeping by Smith. But yeah, I've got £150 million and a load of wage budget and I've just not really spent it. I don't know if that's something to be proud of or if I should be annoyed that we couldn't do anything with it. Oh my word, that's how close Shvetsov's shot was to crossing the line. I'll tell you what, goal line technology has been out in force for this game, hasn't it? Anyway, Lazarus, our former man, giving away the ball, although we lump it forward and they read it and deal with it. Artigas now with it to Campos. We're applying the pressure high up the pitch here, forcing Liverpool to go back. Can we force a turnover in possession, perhaps? Artigas to Lazarus, our former man. It just doesn't seem right. It doesn't feel right seeing him in red, does it? Anyway, pressure continuing to mount. Liverpool playing themselves out of a tricky situation, to be fair, and now it's Nuhu on the ball. He plays it to Artigas. Back to Nuhu. What is this highlight? This is the longest build-up play we've ever seen. Artigas is just padding his passing stats. This is why we are having less possession than them, because they're just stood here doing this. What is this going to lead to? This has been a weird highlight. Has anyone been counting how many passes there's been? Artigas breaks through, whips it in. McCord, I mean, is it about to be ruled out for something? Is it offside? Was there a player stood in front of the keeper? All that build-up play for a goal that is ruled offside. We don't even get a highlight. Did the ball go out of play? Okay, Dylan McCord was offside, allegedly. That was a weird one, wasn't it? Either way, 20 minutes left. In fact, less than 20 minutes left now. And I've not even made a sub. I've just been dwelling and thinking about that play that we just saw from them. Nico at left-back, typically, asks for more money, then doesn't put in a good performance. We're going to bring in McCassie and Dylan Turnbull. Hopefully they are the men to come on and help us see out this game. I don't really want to change anything because despite the fact we're playing on positive, despite the fact, we are committing men forward, we've limited them to so few opportunities, so few chances, that it feels unnecessary to change things, although maybe I'm going to live to regret that. Abdul Nuhu, back post header, and now I need to change things. I will say now, a draw wouldn't be the worst result here, but it would open the door for Chelsea to step top of the league once again. McCord breaking down this left-hand side, whips it in towards Nuhu. Is that Nico again? It is, isn't it? I mean, I know he's not the tallest player, he's not the best in the air, but come on now, son. 5 minutes left. I've gone on attacking. We've been the better team in this game, but to be fair to them, they created a few opportunities later on. And we all have to settle for a 1-1. And can I just say, I know someone's going to say, Jack, why didn't you switch to the other system? Why didn't you tone things down? Like, we did that against Real Madrid earlier on this season, and you all saw what happened there. I just realised that Manchester City drew against Manchester United, so the point slipping for them continues to go on. We will just play through, I think, to the Bayern Munich game. There's not a great deal of stuff happening right now. We're in that weird not twilight zone, that's not the right term. But we're sat between the transfer window and regen day. It's that kind of the month where you mash continue repeatedly and just try and get through to, the youth intake. Anyway, Chelsea v Derby. Derby County, can you do us a favour? Come on, you Rams. Never been so passionate about Derby County. They can't. They lose 1-0, which, to be fair, they put up a fight. I'll hope they put up less of a fight when we play them in a couple of days' time, because we might be a little bit tired after an intense fixture schedule. Just going to rest the players for one day. I don't think they need much more of a rest than that. But you can see here the Bayern Munich game on the horizon. It's sat there. First round of the Champions League. The board expectation this year for the Champions League is to reach the quarter-finals. So this is a game that we're expected to navigate through. Bubalo puts on a creative masterpiece. How's he getting on in Spain? Look at him go. He's only scored 1 goal in 6, but 3 assists, to be fair to him. You have to wonder, would he be like a better, just advanced playmaker? I think there's maybe an argument to be had that he could be a really good advanced playmaker. It's just a shame his first touch isn't better, and I guess his passing and vision to be a truly world-class playmaker, the kind that we need at this point, probably just isn't quite there, which is a bit of a shame. Anyway, Bayern Munich next. Of course, once upon a time we were trying to sign one of their star players. Then we got drawn against them in the Champions League and they had absolutely no interest in selling him to us. I have also just noticed our under-23s are playing in the EFL Trophy North semi-final against Manchester United. Come on, boys. Come on, the under-18s. Or under-23s, rather. Do it for us. Do it for us. Still don't think we've won the EFL Trophy yet, of course. The EFL Trophy is the competition between League 2 and League 1 teams, but then there are under-23 academy clubs that compete in it as well across the nation. Hector Luiz, by the way, back from injury. I could do with loaning him out because he's not got a work permit, as you may have just seen. Whilst your match continue. A Brazilian with a load of potential was listed as one of our key hot prospects for so long. Broke his ankle last year out on loan, and at 19 now, there's a little bit of a question mark, I suppose, over whether or not he can fulfil his potential. Anyway, you can see here our under-23s beat Manchester United's under-23s 3-0, and Ulises got player of the match. Give him a round of applause. Come on, boys. Win that EFL trophy. If we just look at past winners of this competition, runner-up twice. Is it our year this year? I believe they're into the final with that semi-final win. I realise that might sound odd. That's because the way the competition's done is it's divided into North and South. And it used to be that you had what was called a North final and then a South final. And then the grand final was the winner of the two. I think they've actually changed that in recent years now so that what was previously the North and South finals are just called the semi-finals. Because, well, for all intents and purposes, that is exactly what they are. And they probably should have been called that from the beginning. Anyway, Manchester City playing Everton there, although that's a little bit small fry. We don't care about them quite as much as we did once upon a time. We care about this. At home against Bayern Munich. Is there any changes that I want to make? Are there any late swaps, perhaps? I don't think there is. There's part of me that wants to bring in Dylan Turnbull. Andy Eric's last 5 games have been pretty poor, but I don't really have an alternative to play. Unfortunately, obviously, Volta... Although I was about to say, unfortunately, Volta's out. Volta's not out at all. He's back. He's risen. In that case, I might... Is that controversial to bring in Volta for Andy Eric? See, I really like Volta. For all his inconsistencies, he loves big matches. And Andy Eric, maybe he's the man to bring on, you know, with a fire in his belly when he's mad about being dropped. So you know what, Volta, this is a big call. I'm giving you the nod today, my friend. The rest of the team, I think I'm going to keep the same. I say that. Nico Roth's been poor since he kicked up a fuss about his contract situation. I may well bring in Kevin Deacon. Was recently included in the England national team. Unfortunately for him, didn't actually make an appearance for them. But you know what? He deserves a nod. He deserves an opportunity here. Let's give it to him. A few players coming in, just taking out players who haven't been in the best of form. And the issue for them really is if they've not been in the best of form in our last few games where we've been playing against weaker opposition for the most part and dominating, it's a little bit of a cause for concern, really. Anyway, game plan for this game against Bayern Munich, we are going to hold firm at the back. That has got to be the aim here. Try and keep a clean sheet, avoid conceding an away goal. Use that as a platform to build off and try and make the most of set pieces. We are an incredibly physical side. We have so many huge players in our team. It's one of the reasons why we are able to be so lethal going forward. Anyway, Matstovic trying to, I think, pick out Cancina there. Of course, the European golden boy is Cancina, and well, he could be through here, although Shvetsov, Cancina, lovely build-up play. Arndt has dived for the ball twice. I don't think he ever was going to get to the second one. A great save by their keeper. I will say now, the Bayern Munich goalkeeper, Arndt, is incredible. Obviously, we're familiar with them. This is a rerun of the Champions League final of just last year. All because we finished second in our group by giving this kind of fixture. We beat them on that occasion, and it took penalties. Can we do the same against them today? We do play them today, and then we actually have about a month until the second leg, if you were wondering. So that's why we did the Liverpool game as well today, as Shvetsov brings the ball forward, breaking away. Can he finish it? He can't. The keeper gets a really strong hand to it to palm it over the crossbar. And well, despite the fact we've only had 30% of the ball in the first 20 minutes, we have had the best of the opportunities. Andre here hits it, oh my word, forces another save out the goalkeeper. We're knocking on the door. 6 shots, 6 on target. Can we find a breakthrough? Leskinen whipping it in. Headed away, Maticevic on it. And, well, they are just going to get the ball away from the danger area. We've got to be wary of a counter here. Although Deacon playing at left-back, he's now got a booking, bless him. But he read the play well there just to ensure that they weren't going to get that breakaway. I'm going to tell him on a booking to ease off tackles. I've had enough of red cards. I've had enough of red cards this year. Leskinen whips in. Markovsky glances it down and Volta's there. I mean, am I a tactical genius? Am I just playing favourites? Would Andy Eric have scored it? We may never know. Answers on a postcard. But what I do know is Volta's grabbed his 6th of the season. Markovsky, the massive North Macedonian glancing header, may have been going in, but Volta makes sure of it. And after half an hour, we have been all over them like a nasty little rash. And, well, I want a few more while the momentum is with us, as Jose Armando is going to get sent off. Bayern Munich, they're collapsing. And for the first time in what feels like a lifetime, one of their players is a player being sent off. I never thought I'd see the day. And you can see they're just playing without a right winger, which is interesting. I don't think I want to change anything too drastically just yet. Of course, Fjørhard, it was a player that we were looking at signing. We looked at £100 million for him. Right now, he doesn't look like a £100 million player playing up against us, does he now? Anyway, we've been very good. There is part of me that's just tempted to take off Nico for Deacon just to play it safe about the red card. At this point, you know, it would almost be... It feels a bit silly to risk him. Nico is a very good player to bring in. Deacon, please don't foul. Please don't foul, Deacon, when I'm talking about possibly taking you off. Ball whipped in. Markovsky gets it forward. Shvetsov, Volta making one of his classic runs. Maticevic, lovely build-up play. This is a breakaway and a half. Andre, clean through. Can he finish it? That is... I don't even know how to describe that. Is that tame? Is that the best word to use to describe it? I would describe it as a suboptimal finish. Torbate to Gauthier for them. The Frenchman, formerly of Aston Villa, was relegated with them. Leteri in front of the gazebo. Maticevic drawing inspiration. It's like the shrine of Taulor. Gets it forward to Shvetsov, breaking through. Can he finish it? Of course he can. What a lovely finish that is. Just a little finessed finish. Bending it into that bottom corner. And that is the ideal start to this second half. I think this has been a classic example of possession isn't everything. We are catching them out on the break. They commit men forward. Their slow build-up play, their possession-orientated play is great. But it involves them committing a lot of men into our penalty area. And you know what we have? We have pace. We have the ability to break. And we've done it again there. Coming up to an hour gone, I'm going to take off Deacon just out of safety more than anything. Andre's not had the best of games, so I'm going to bring in McCassie as well for a little bit of defensive steel in the centre mid position. This has been a battle as good as we could have hoped for, though, against Bayern Munich. As I said, these guys got to the final of this competition against us last year. They are not pushovers. The sending off has helped massively. But even before the sending off, we were by far and away the better team. If anything, the one thing I'm a bit concerned about now is the fact we've had 2 clear-cut chances and 3 half chances. And we might live to regret missing the chances we had. Although, when we have Morrigan in goal making saves like that, what is there to fear, really? What is there to fear, really? 15 minutes left. Jarno Leskinen could get the ball into the box. 1 goal scored from a corner already. Markovsky's there. He hits the woodwork. It's cleared away. He's causing all kinds of issues for them on set pieces at the near post, Markovsky. 8 minutes left. 1 last shout of demand more. We have 1 last sub in our back pockets. I'm going to take off Cancino, who's not been at the races this episode. He's not played particularly well in either game. Haul him off. Bring in Dylan Turnbull. He has the ability in the air for this kind of situation. It's cleared off the line, but he'll get the rebound. It's why we've brought him on. It's why he's been starting regularly. I know some people have asked, why would you not play Cancino all the time? And the reason is that Turnbull fits our system a little bit better, particularly when it comes to our reliance on set pieces. His aggressive play, his hunger for the ball is just evident there. You can see it. 3 goals up though, 2 minutes of added time. Let them run out. We win this game comfortably. The sending off helped us massively, but make no mistake, we were by far and away the better team across the entirety of the match. And that sets us up pretty good for going away from home. 1 goal against Bayern Munich, and they have to score 5. That feels like it could be difficult for them. Pochettino not taking it very well. He's told the press that his team aren't playing as well as they could have, which I think is perhaps quite fair. I wonder now if Fjordhurt is going to look at this game and go, man, maybe I should have made that move to Taulor. Don't worry, mate. There's still time for you to join us at some point. Still time. Now they accept the... I didn't think they'd just accept the bid. That's more than what I was going to pay last time when I said 104 million. Why are they accepting it now? Oh, that feels like too much to me. 104 million I could stomach. 120 million. Although he's got 4 years left on his current contract. Oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know. It's tomorrow's problem. Would you bid on him? Would you go in for him? Is 120 million too much? I suppose you guys can let me know. I feel like it might be a bit too much. I don't think I'm going to follow up on that just yet. We're in March, or not even in... Well, actually, yes, we are technically in March. There's still a long, long way to go. Anyway, in terms of when we'll be back next episode, I think next episode we're going to come back from the Tottenham and Bayern Munich games. We'll do another similar double header. I know that there is this Chelsea FA Cup game, but the reality is that right now the Premier League and the Champions League are my complete focuses. And the FA Cup's just kind of a nice little side dish, which I may well end up, I was going to say playing a rotated team in. We may not even need to. The fixture congestion isn't super bad. At the same time, it's just one of those situations where I think the league is the priority right now, and there is a reasonable chance that with Chelsea's game in hand, they will be ahead of us. And that Tottenham game is going to be a lot more significant for our season on the whole. But anyway, guys, hopefully you've enjoyed today's episode. A couple of okay results, I suppose. The Bayern Munich one, let's not downplay it. That is a huge result. The draw against Liverpool, perhaps a little bit disappointing, but ultimately we avoided defeat. We held them to a draw, and it hopefully sets us up now for a nice hot run of form into the end of the season. That is definitely what we're going to be looking towards now. So anyway, I will see you guys tomorrow for the Tottenham and Bayern Munich games. Thank you for watching as always. It is me, Jack, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.